Huw Edwards became known as one of the most trusted faces of the BBC, having worked for the corporation since 1984 when he first joined as a trainee. Since then has worked his way up to present the news at 10 and has been drafted in to cover the most important stories and breaking news over the years, including announcing that Queen Elizabeth II had died in 2022. He has been front and center of some of the biggest tales and most recently was tasked with providing commentary outside Westminster Abbey for King Charles' coronation. Speaking of the momentous occasion, Huw said, "People will be relying on the BBC for coverage of what promises to be a memorable weekend." But where did it all start for the star? Born in Bridgend, South Wales, Huw's Welsh-speaking family then moved to Llangennec when he was 4 years old and he went on to attend Llanelli Boys' Grammar School, before heading off to study at French at University College in Cardiff. He graduated with a first-class degree in 1983, and went on to do work experience at a radio station in Swansea. The following year he started with BBC as a trainee reporter, a role which would change his life forever. In 1986 he became a parliamentary correspondent for BBC Wales and remained in the position until 1999 when he took over as the host of the BBC 6 o'clock news. During this time the evening news bulletin became the most watched programme in Britain. After his success with this news programme, Huw stepped up to present the news at 10, a coveted position. The job made the 61-year-old father of 5 a household name and he garnered a legion of fans just for his signature hand-on-desk pose at the start of each broadcast, which spawned its own Twitter account. Alongside this, Huw has also become the face of the BBC's coverage of the Festival of Remembrance, Trooping the Colour and the state opening of Parliament. In 2019 he also took over from David Dimbleby as the main host of the election coverage, when the Conservatives won a landslide majority over Labour and Boris Johnson became the UK's Prime Minister. He also led the BBC commentary team at the opening and closing ceremonies of the 2008 Beijing Olympics, London 2012 Olympics, 2014 Commonwealth Games and contributed to other BBC shows such as Breakfast News, 1 o'clock News, Newsnight, and Panorama. In recent years has been front and centre in all the BBC's royal family coverage, reporting on everything from Prince William and Catherine Middleton's wedding, Prince Harry and Meghan Markle's wedding, as well as Queen Elizabeth II's Diamond Jubilee and Platinum Jubilee. The BBC's coverage of William and Kate's wedding was watched by 20 million viewers at its peak and won a BAFTA award for Best Coverage of a Live Event. Huw also led the coverage of Prince Philip's death in April 2021 and broke the tragic news of Queen Elizabeth II's death on September 8, 2022. Following the announcement, he responded to praise of his work on Instagram by saying, "My work is a privilege, thank you for all your messages." Most recently he led the coverage of King Charles I's coronation in May 2023, playing a vital role during the historic events, commentating on the lead-up to the ceremony at Westminster Abbey, the coronation itself and then the royal family's balcony appearance. Huw was thankful for the support, but did later admit to seeing a part of the ceremony he wasn't meant to. The most sacred part of the ceremony saw King Charles being anointed and this tradition is hidden from public view, with special screens being put up around the monarch to hide the moment from the public's view. However, according to the Mail, Huw confessed that he could clearly see what was going on. "I was up in the triforium, overlooking the nave. Even though I averted my eyes, you could see what was going on," he said. "I looked away. I thought, "If anyone sees me looking, I am dead." Despite these recent career highs, Huw previously admitted has been considering a future away from the BBC. After his milestone 60th birthday back in 2021, he told BBC Radio Cymru that he was looking ahead to what he might want to do next. He said, "A time comes when you're bound to reassess what's in front of you. Now that a big milestone is here, which is 60 years old, it's natural for a man to think, am I going to continue in this job for another 5 years, or do I want to do something different?" He added, "The nightly news business, after 20 years, that can be taxing, even though I still enjoy the job. But I don't think he'll be doing that for long. Because I believe that, in the first place, I think it's fair for the viewers to get a change. Secondly, I have coworkers who are very talented, it's time to give them a chance too." Huw went on to claim that regardless of that, he wouldn't be disappearing from the 10 o'clock news anytime soon, as he was still enjoying himself. However, he was recently suspended from the BBC amid allegations that a presenter paid a teenager more than £35,000 for sexually explicit images. In a heartfelt statement, Vicky Flynn, the wife of BBC newsreader Huw Edwards, confirmed that he was the man at the centre of the allegations. "In light of the recent reporting regarding the BBC presenter, I am making this statement on behalf of my husband Huw Edwards, after what have been 5 extremely difficult days for our family. I am doing this primarily out of concern for his mental well-being and to protect our children. Huw is suffering from serious mental health issues. As is well documented, he has been treated for severe depression in recent years. The events of the last few days have greatly worsened matters. He has suffered another serious episode and is now receiving inpatient hospital care where he'll stay for the foreseeable future. Once well enough to do so, he intends to respond to the stories that have been published." To be clear, Huw was first told that there were allegations being made against him last Thursday. "In the circumstances and given Huw's condition, I would like to ask that the privacy of my family and everyone else caught up in these upsetting events is respected. I know that Huw is deeply sorry that so many colleagues have been impacted by the recent media speculation. We hope this statement will bring that to an end," a BBC spokesperson said. "We have seen the statement from the police confirming they have completed their assessment and are not taking further action. We're grateful to them for completing this work at speed." The police had previously asked us to pause our fact-finding investigations, and we will now move forward with that work, ensuring due process and a thorough assessment of the facts, whilst continuing to be mindful of our duty of care to all involved. Separately, a police statement tonight reads, "Detectives from the Met's Specialist Crime Command have now concluded their assessment and have determined there is no information to indicate that a criminal offence has been committed. In reaching this decision, they have spoken to a number of parties including the BBC and the alleged complainant and the alleged complainant's family, both via another police force. There is no further police action. As such, the Met has advised the BBC it can continue with its internal investigation. We are aware of media reporting of further allegations against the same individual. No specific details or information about these allegations have been passed to us, and therefore there is no police action at this time. Should evidence of criminality or safeguarding issues be identified at any point, we would expect matters to be referred to the relevant police force." A mother claimed to The Sun that the presenter started interacting with her child when they were just 17 in 2020 and the money they were reportedly paid funded the child's drug addiction.